Rami Khouri is a distinguished public policy fellow at the American University of Beirut. He joins us now live from Boston in the US. Welcome to the News Hour from London. Your reaction to what we're hearing right now about the possibility of a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in the coming hours. This is the Lebanese Prime Minister saying he hopes to see this. And we've heard also, as Mohammed mentioned, the Israeli public broadcaster publishing what it says is a draft of the Lebanon ceasefire proposal. Your reaction?
Well, this is a replay of events that we've seen take place over the last 40 years in Lebanon and Palestine and Israel, where people are willing to fight, but if they're not gaining their objectives, they're willing to make a ceasefire. The populations definitely don't want war. They want a ceasefire. But unless the fundamental underlying problem is resolved, which is Israel-Palestine conflict, none of this is going to last very much. So they can get a ceasefire in Lebanon. They'll probably get one shortly. They can get a ceasefire in Gaza anytime they want if the Israelis agree to it. But all of this will be temporary. And by the way, a lot of what we're hearing today, as has happened in the past 40, 50 years that I've covered this conflict as a reporter and a resident in the Middle East, there's just tons of speculation. And a lot of it is based on propaganda, leaked stories. So you really have to be careful about what you see appearing, especially in the Israeli press, but also elsewhere. The second point is that the Americans have not got a very good track record as qualified or equitable and fair mediators. They are pushing the Israeli line as much as they can. They've done so way back since Camp David in the 1970s. And so we have to be really careful about talking about ceasefires and agreements that the Americans negotiated. And this is one of the reasons why Hezbollah and Hamas and others have emerged in the region to fight back against this American, British, Israeli domination. And you see it once more, alongside the talk of the ceasefire, there's a lot of talk about how the Israelis and the Americans want to reorganize the Middle East. It's like a monopoly game. They want to move things around, and they've been trying to do this for, again, 40, 45 years. I remember the 1970s when Alexander Haig and others were.
I just want to pick up, I'm sorry to interrupt you, because you're speaking to us from the US. I just want to get your perspective on what Mohammed Al-Qasim said to us there, that this could possibly, if, and as you say, it's an important point, so much is leaked and we have to verify, but if indeed this does go through, Mohammed said that this is something possibly that Kamala Harris wants to see before Election Day, 6 days to go. Do you see that as a possibility and something that her administration could be driving right now?
Probably not. I just came back from 3 days in Dearborn, Michigan, which is the heartland of the Arab American and Muslim American community. There was a big conference that I attended and spoke at, and I talked to dozens and dozens of people who are leaders in the movement to deny the vote to Biden and then to Harris because of the Gaza genocide. And there's been intense discussion, and I talked to a lot of the people for and against this, voting for Harris, not voting for Harris. And this is a huge moral and political issue that people are grappling with, and nobody has any easy answer. The reality that they all realize is that it doesn't matter who's president, Harris or Trump, they're probably going to continue the support all out for Israel, and therefore there may be a slight pause, there may be a little bit of a shift in emphasis, but no major difference should be expected. And people are really tortured about how to make a decision, because if you don't vote for Harris, you may be helping Trump. Helping Trump become president is not such a nice thing for Arab Americans and Muslim Americans. But in the end, this is a question of, do you want to be, you and your country, the United States, do you want to be linked to the greatest modern genocide since the Nazi attempt to exterminate the Jews in Europe? And this is, so I think the electoral linkages are exaggerated. They are there, and there may be some differences here and there. The gaps are closing between them in all of the swing states, and you're going to have to watch this on a day-by-day basis until the voting happens. And even then, the polls don't always tell you what people actually will do. They tell you what they were feeling yesterday.
Rami, thank you so much. Really great to get your insights there from the US, from Boston. Rami Khouri, a distinguished public policy fellow at the American University of Beirut. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.